Good day, again, I'm Myla Sarmiento. In my previous video, we discussed about the concept of the cell. We learned that the cell is a basic structural unit of life, meaning that the cell is very important in all living organisms such as human, animals, plants, and also bacteria. In today's video, we will continue for discussing the part and function of the cell. There are two parts of cell: the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell include bacteria and archaea, while the eukaryotic cell include plants and animals. Let's go first for the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cells are cells that contain a nucleus and organelles and are enclosed by plasma membrane. Multicellular organisms that have eukaryotic cells include protozoa, fungi, plants, and animals. Eukaryotic cells contain a variety of structures called organelles which perform various functions within the cell. There are characteristics of eukaryotic cells. First, they are capable of self-duplication. They help in transmitting or transferring the character from one generation to another generation or from parents to offspring. They play a vital role in controlling biological processes in the body of an organism. They control cell metabolism by directing the formatting of necessary protein. They help in differentiation during development. The first part of eukaryotic cell is nucleus. Nucleus is a membrane-bound structure that contains cell heredity information and controls the cell growth and reproduction. It is the important part of the cell, exerting a controlling influence on cell activities. It's usually a spherical or oval structure mostly located in the center of the cell. And it is commonly in the most prominent organelles in the cell. The nucleus is surrounded by a structure called nuclei, and the function is to control and regulate the entire cell or also brain of cell. Inside the nucleus, there are different structures. The nuclear pores. Nuclear pores is protein channel in the nuclear envelope that regulates the transformation of nucleus between the nucleus and cytoplasm. The function is to exchange of material between nucleus and cytoplasm. Passive diffusion of low molecular weight is solo. Efficient passage through the complex requires several protein factors. Another structure is the nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope is a highly regulated membrane barrier that separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm and eukaryotic cell. And the function is to help from collapsing, separates the nuclear materials from cellular materials, develop a chemical connection between nuclear and cells. Another is the chromatin. Chromatin is a complex of DNA and proteins that form chromosomes within the nucleus of eukaryotic cell. And the function is to control the activities of cell, information in the form of genes that are located in the chromosomes, and control inheritance and metabolism. And last structure is the nucleolus. The nucleolus is the largest nuclear organelle and is the primary site of ribosome subunit biogenesis in the eukaryotic cell. And the function is to site for transcription, assembly of the ribosome, and the synthesis of RNA. Endoplasmic reticulum is another part of eukaryotic cell. And from the word endoplasmic means plasm and the reticulum means network. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membrane inside a cell through which proteins and other molecules move. And the function is to produce protein for the rest of the cell. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is a primary concern with the synthesis, folding, and modification of protein, especially those that need to be delivered to different organelles within the secrete from the cell. Another is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. These are largely associated with lipid fat manufacture and metabolism and steroid production and hormone production. It also has detoxification function. And their function is engraft endoplasmic reticulum, provide surface to ribosomes and provide two-dimensional arrangement and increase the rate of the proteins. In the soft endoplasmic reticulum involved in lipid synthesis is due to the distribution or synthesis of the surface of ER. It synthesizes steroid hormones. Is found to be well developed in the cell which actively synthesizes steroid hormones associated with the gluconeogenesis in animal cells. Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies. It receives biochemical in a bulk flow from the rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is the only organelles in the cell that receive short, modified concentrate packs and dispatches biochemical for use in the outside of the cell. And the function is packaging and the secretion of protein. It receives protein from endoplasmic reticulum, packages into the membrane-bound vehicles which are then transported to various destinations such as lysosome, plasma membrane or section. Another is plasma membrane or cell membrane. It's a boundary between the cell and its environment. It regulates what's enter and exit of the cell. Plasma membrane provides protection for a cell. It also provides a fixed environment inside the cell. And the function is maintain shape and size of the cell. Protects internal content of the cell, regulates entry and exit of substances and out of the cell. Another is microtubules. Microtubules are major component of the cytoskeleton. They are found in all eukaryotic cells and they are involved in mitosis, cell motility, and structural transport and maintenance of cell shape. Microtubules are composed of alpha and beta tubulin subunits assembled into linear protofilament and keep organelles in place. And the function is they move vesicle granules organelles like mitochondria and chromosome via spatial attachment and proteins, along with microfilaments and the intermediate filament. They form the cytoskeleton of the cell as well as participate in a variety of motor functions for the cell. Another is the centrosome. Centrosome is an organelle that is the main place where cell microtubules are organized. Organizing changes to the shape of the cell membrane that allow the membrane to pinch and to during cell division. A centrosome is a cellular structure involved in the process of cell division. Before cell division, the centrosome duplicates, and then as division begins, two centrosomes move to opposite ends of the cell. Protein called mitochondrial assembled into a spindle between the two centrosomes and help separate the replicated chromosome into the daughter cells. The function of centrosome is from spindle fiber which help in the movement of the chromosomes during cell division, help in formation of cilia and flagella. Another is ribosome. Ribosomes serve as site of biological protein synthesis. They link together specific amino acids to form polypeptides and to export these of the cytoplasm. Ribosome is a complex molecular machine found inside the living cells that produce protein from amino acids during the process called protein synthesis or transition. The process of protein synthesis is the primary function which is formed by all living cells. Ribosomes are specialized cell organelles and found in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Every living cell requires ribosome for the production of proteins. And the function is ribosome is build protein assembles amino acids to form proteins that are essential to carry out the cellular function, and many more. Another is a lysosome. Are organs that contain digestive enzymes. They digest exist or worm out organelles, food particles, and the infect viruses or bacteria. They are like the stomach of the cell, which are involved in digestion and waste removal. And the function is digest the food, help in digesting large molecules, protect cell by destroying foreign invaders like bacteria and virus. Another is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a thick solution that fills each cell and is enclosed by the cell membrane, mainly composed of water, salt, protein. The framework of protein scaffold called the cytoskeleton provides the cytoplasm in the cell with their structure, transport dissolved nutrients around the cell, and move waste material of the cell. In the function, cytoplasm is like gel fluid inside the cell. It is the medium for chemical reaction. It provides the platform upon which other organelles can operate with the cell of the function for cell expansion, growth, and replication are carried out the cytoplasm of the cell. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. They help turn the energy we take from food into energy that the cell can use. Calm storing. And the function of mitochondria is produce energy from broken down food, synthesize energy-rich compound ATP. ATP molecules provide energy for the vital activities of living cells. Cilia are eyelash-like structure, microtubule-based organelles that project from the surface of the cell and that serve both motile and sensory function. The function of cilia is to move water relative to the cell and the regular movement of the cilia. Flagellum. Flagellum is a swipe-like structure that acts primarily as an organelle of locomotion in the cell of the many living organisms. In the function, they help an organism in a movement. They act as a sensory organs to detect temperature or pH changes. Few eukaryotes use flagellum to increase production rate. Recent research have provided the flagella are also used as secretory organelles. Microfilament. They have role in cell movement, muscle contraction, and cell division. To make a cell move, one end of the action filament stretches out while the other end for itself entire. Now let's proceed with the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are single-celled microorganisms known to be earliest on Earth. Prokaryotes include bacteria and archaea. A prokaryotic cell consists of a single membrane, and therefore all the reaction occurs within the cytoplasm. They can be free-living parasite. Prokaryotic cell lack certain organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and Golgi bodies. And the characteristics is prokaryotic are the simplest type of the cell. Largest group of organisms, prokaryotes do not have a nuclear membrane. Their cellular shape genetic materials dispersed through cytoplasm. Prokaryotes do not membrane-bound organelles. Have a simple internal structure. Prokaryotes are smaller in size when compared to the eukaryotes. Capsule is the first part. It's an outer protect covering found in the bacteria cell in addition to the cell wall. It helps in the moisture retention, protects cell when and help the attachment of the cell nutrients and the surface. The function is to provide protection to bacteria from hosts. Protect from help in bacteria adhesion. Another part is cell wall. Cell wall is the outermost layer of the cell, which gives shape to the cell. Another is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is mainly composed of enzymes, cell organelles, and its gel-like component.